Tom was around the set quite a bit. He was hanging around, and I asked him specifically about, was he aware of the effect that Fred was having on him. Tom was going through, I guess, anything that a man goes through, family and health and work and career. He wasn't the happiest guy on the planet. But in the course of doing his job, he came smack dab, face up against Fred Rogers, who were saying things like, "You're really special, You have a lot of gifts, and you work hard at what you do. And, you don't have to do anything to make me like you. I'm liking you fine." And I'm sure the jaded member of the Fourth Estate in Tom's mind would say, "What's this guy hiding? Why is he snowing me on this thing?" And he was just being Fred Rogers. She came out very specifically back to me with a perspective of the power of the force of Mr. Rogers as opposed to the plot that goes on. I said, okay, whoa. I get that. That I understand. And I hadn't seen the documentary yet, hadn't done anything like that. I just knew that she was coming at this. This is the red dot of what this movie is, and that is the chosen power of empathy. I have played real guys before, people who actually existed. And sometimes I've spent a lot of time with the actual guys I played. Jim Lovell, Sully Sullenberger, Charlie Wilson. And all the time you say, look, I'm going to say things you didn't do and say things you didn't say and do things you didn't do. But beyond that, I want to be as accurate as possible. The added burden of, if I can be so bold, as Mr. Rogers, because it was not just the expectations of the man himself, but the expectations of everybody else about Mr. Rogers. I think he's one of those people that, for Fred, actually turned into a broader human experience. And I've seen the letters that they wrote back and forth to each other long after that. I saw a lot of correspondence that he would keep up. And he and Tom Junod, they kept in touch about everything that was possibly, under the sun, which is, again, Lloyd, in our movie, expanded Fred's world. And he was grateful for just how special a gift that is. Fred was literally one of the people who loved Lloyd into existence. In our movie, that's what happens. And Lloyd is so much, he's a better everything. He's a better son, he's a better father, he's a better husband, he's a better journalist, he's a better friend, all because a guy who had no reason to do so said, you're very special. And I think you're great, just exactly as you are.